So you're thinking about the Formuler Z11 Pro Max. And you've heard it's the king of streaming boxes, the device that will finally replace your cable bill. And that might be true, but here's what surprised me. This little black box is one of the most misunderstood tech purchases you can make on Amazon right now. Therefore, before you click that Buy Now button, you need to see what I found after using it for a month straight. For the best price, click the link in the description. /N, we all want that perfect streaming setup. We want one remote, one interface, access to all our shows, live sports and movies without paying a fortune to a cable company. The promise of the Formuler Z11 Pro Max is exactly that. It's an Android TV box, but with its own secret weapon, a legendary software called IPTV Online. And that's where everyone gets excited. Therefore, you see the reviews, you see the hype, and you're ready to pull the trigger. But hold on. Is this the right device for you? Because let me tell you, the experience is not as simple as unboxing it and hitting play on Netflix. There's a learning curve steeper than my attempt to assemble IKEA furniture without the instructions. Spoiler, it ended with extra screws and a profound sense of failure. /N, let's get physical first. The box itself is fine. It's a compact, glossy black rectangle that looks like every other streaming dongle or box out there. It's not winning any design awards, but it's also not an eyesore. It has all the ports you'd expect. HDMI, Ethernet, a USB port, and a microSD slot. That Ethernet port is crucial, by the way. If you're serious about streaming, especially live TV, you want this thing wired. Wi-Fi is for your phone and your smart fridge that judges your late-night snack choices. Therefore, setup is straightforward. Plug in power, connect to HDMI, and you're greeted with a fairly standard-looking Android TV launcher. But here's the first twist. You're not really here for the Android TV experience. You're here for Formula's party trick. The real magic, the entire reason this box exists, is IPTV Online 3. This isn't just another app you download from the Play Store. It's the operating system within the operating system. Think of it like this. Android TV is the bland office building, and IPTV Online 3 is the incredibly specific, highly organized secret lounge in the basement where all the cool stuff happens. Therefore, the moment you launch it, you'll notice it looks and feels exactly like a traditional cable or satellite box interface. There's a TV guide, a channel list, a favorites menu, and it's all controlled beautifully by the included remote. The remote. This remote is the MVP. It has a glowing backlight for dark rooms, a full numeric keypad, dedicated color buttons, and a magical little button that toggles between the Android TV Home and IPTV Online. It feels premium, it's responsive, and it makes you feel like you're in control. Unlike my universal remote, which seems to have a personal vendetta against me and only turns the volume up to maximum at 3 a.m. /N, so the hardware is solid. The remote is fantastic. The software looks like a dream. Therefore, you're ready to watch the big game or the latest episode of your favorite show, right? But here's the massive, glaring, cannot be overstated catch. IPTV Online 3 does not come with any content. It is an empty vessel. A beautiful, powerful, supremely capable empty vessel. This is the single most important thing to understand. The Formuler Z11 Pro Max is a portal, a player. It is not a source. Therefore, to make it sing, you need to provide it with a playlist, typically in the form of an IPTV service. This is where the confusion and the murky waters of Amazon reviews begin. And you'll see reviews talking about free TV or thousands of channels. What they're really talking about is pairing the box with a paid IPTV subscription. Formuler does not provide this. You have to find it yourself. This is the make or break moment. A great IPTV service with the Z11 Pro Max is like a symphony. A bad, unreliable IPTV service with the Z11 Pro Max is like that symphony being performed by kazoo players who didn't rehearse. Therefore, your entire experience hinges on a service that exists outside of Formula's control. This isn't a criticism of the box, but a vital reality check. The Z11 Pro Max is the best car you can buy for a specific race, but you still have to provide your own fuel. And not all fuel is created equal. In fact, some of it might just be sparkling water. \n lets assume you have a solid IPTV service. This is where the Z11 Pro Max earns its Pro Max title. The playback is superb. Channel switching is fast, often under a second. The timeshift feature lets you pause and rewind live TV, which is a godsend. The multi-screen preview function is slick. The ability to record live TV to an external USB drive works flawlessly. It handles high bitrate 4K streams without breaking a sweat, provided your internet can keep up. Therefore, as a dedicated IPTV player, it is arguably the best device on the market. It's optimized for this one task in a way that a generic Android box or a Fire Stick running a janky app can never be. The integration is seamless, but what about everything else? \n remember, it's also an Android TV 11 device. You have full access to the Google Play Store. You can install Netflix, Disney+, Prime Video, Plex, Spotify, games, whatever you want. However, here comes another surprise. The performance in the standard Android TV environment is just okay. It's not bad, but it doesn't feel as snappy or optimized as a dedicated device like the NVIDIA Shield. Navigating menus can have a tiny bit of lag. Therefore, if your primary use is 80% streaming apps and 20% IPTV, you might be better served by a Shield and a separate IPTV app. But if your split is 20% streaming apps and 80% IPTV, this box is your holy grail. It's a specialist, not a generalist. It's the neurosurgeon of streaming boxes, not the family doctor. \n let's talk about some quirks. The home screen launcher is a bit cluttered with Formula's own apps and recommendations. You can change it, but it's not as clean as stock Android TV. The lack of Dolby Vision support might be a deal-breaker for some home theater enthusiasts. It does support HDR10 and HLG, though. The onboard storage is modest, so you'll rely on external drives for major recording or app installations. Therefore, it's not a perfect device. It has compromises, but its strengths are so incredibly focused and well executed that for the right user, those compromises vanish. \n who is the right user? Let's paint a picture. You are technically savvy enough to source a reliable IPTV service. You want a set-it-and-forget-it experience for live TV that feels like cable but isn't. You watch a lot of live sports, news, or international channels. You value a slick electronic program guide and one remote to rule them all. If that's you, the Formuler Z11 Pro Max is an absolute game-changer. It will organize your chaos into a beautiful, grid-based, channel-surfing paradise. Therefore, you should be getting very excited right now. But who is the wrong user if you just want an easy box for Netflix and YouTube? If the idea of finding and managing an IPTV subscription sounds like a hassle, if you want all your content in one place with zero setup beyond logging into apps, then this box is overkill, confusing, and you'll be disappointed. You'd be like someone who buys a professional espresso machine but just wants instant coffee. So, let's resolve this. Should you buy the Formuler Z11 Pro Max on Amazon? Therefore, here is my final verdict. This is not a device for everyone. It's a precision tool. If you are deep into the world of IPTV, or you're willing to dive in to get that cable-like experience without the cable price, this is the best hardware for the job. The MYTV Online 3 software is peerless. The remote is a masterpiece of design for this purpose. The performance is top tier. However, if you're a casual streamer who sticks to the major apps, look at an Apple TV, a Shield, or even a high-end Fire Stick. You'll save money and get a smoother overall experience for your needs. \n think of it this way. Buying the Z11 Pro Max without an IPTV service is like buying the world's best gaming PC and then only using it to check email. You're not using its power, but pair it with the right service and it transforms. It becomes the central hub of your entertainment in a way few other devices can. Therefore, my ultimate advice is this. Do your homework on IPTV services first. Find a reputable provider with a good trial. Once you know you have a solid source for content, then invest in the Formuler Z11 Pro Max as the player. That sequence is the key to happiness. Don't buy the box hoping the content will magically appear. That's like buying a plate and hoping a steak will materialize on it. Unless you have that magic plate from a fairy tale, you're just going to be staring at an empty plate. \n before you go, I want to address the Amazon jungle. Prices fluctuate. Sellers come and go. Therefore, to make sure you get a genuine Formuler device at the absolute best price available right now, I've done the scouting for you. I've linked the top-rated, reliable seller directly in the description below. That's your safest, smartest path to getting this box without any headaches. Click that link to check the current price on Amazon. It's the easiest way to start your journey or to save yourself from a purchase that doesn't fit your life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.